Cheers from Japan, I'm the Tokyo Toy Bastard, and I'm here today with my son Lyoto, and we are in Kichijoji, Tokyo, going toy hunting at the place that I like to go every Saturday. That is Toy Cats, and if you've watched my videos previously, I've filmed there a few times. I interviewed the owner. We did some extensive videos there for my other channel, Kentucky Fried Gaijin, which is currently semi-defunct, but I have never really done a toy hunt on my own there. I've done one with Retro World Korea, so I figured today I'd film my average Saturday there, toy hunting. And as usual, I often bring a kid with me or two kids. Today it's just Lyoto, and I also often bring, or always bring, a bag of beer as an offering, which often helps smooth over any deals. But yeah, well, let's go in there, have a beer, do some hunting, talk to the owner, and catch you when we're inside. All right, so we're here, but owner's not here yet, so we're gonna have a drink, wait for him. He said he'd be here around now, so yeah, he opens a bit late in the day. It's actually just after 4:30 p.m. This man does not have a day off, so he opens when he wants to. That's fine with me. Also, there is an approaching typhoon, and trains are pretty crowded, so and everywhere else is pretty crowded, so he might just be getting a little delayed getting here. So anyway, when he gets here, we'll just jump on inside and just start filming the hunt. All right. Okay, so we're here in Toy Cats. The owner's here, and Lyoto's playing his Switch. Say hello. Lyoto's very comfortable here because he comes here almost every weekend, so Ishi sounds basically like his uncle. And anyway, I'm gonna do some toy hunting, but first, cheers.
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 Hi.
And I'm gonna do some toy hunting in here, and then at the end, I'll ask Ishi, you know, how much everything's gonna cost. And I also brought in some trades. We'll see what happens. So take a swig. All right, let's go hunt.
Hi. Cheers.
One more swig. All right, so since we're standing here, we're gonna go over here to the one of the several Dragon Ball cases, and you can see here at the top, above my level, are all of these old Dora Cap Dragon Ball boxes, like complete boxes, and he's got complete sets of all of these things that he won't sell them separately. You have to buy the entire boxes. He does have some for sale, which I'll show you later on the other side, loose, but it's cool to see these because you don't really ever see complete boxes with the box. So let's go down here. So we've got a bunch of minifigures. These are all Gashapon, HG Gashapon mostly, and some DG. And then over here we've got an entire, let me pull this out. Remember, I'm still filming in selfie mode here. Oh, we're gonna set it down on top of these vintage vinyl Dragon Ball bags. Let me show you one of these. Move this over here. You find a nice flat one here. He's got a bunch of these translucent vintage Dragon Ball 80s bags. So if you want one, let me know, because he's got a ton of them. I can grab some. But along with that, I'm gonna set these on top. He's got an entire basket full of dead stock capsules from the late 80s of Dragon Ball with the paperwork. And he's got pretty much every character in here in all the colors. So I often pick these up, but I don't know, I'll look at those later. I'll leave those here for now. Let's go down here. Oh, we've got some Arali wind-up toys. We've got some of the Kantamen Yamchas. Some old sticker sets, some old coins, and a bunch of loose keshi down here. I've picked through this many, many times, so a lot of the really good stuff is gone. But last week, I brought my friend here, Leia, and she found two Bulma toys, or two Bulma keshi that I completely looked over. And but since she found them first, I had to let her have them, because I would have snatched them in a second. But let's see. There's some glow-in-the-dark stuff in here. I like the glow-in-the-dark Krillin. I like these really small ones too. But I don't think there's anything in here that I don't already have or don't need, so let's move up here. So here are some wind-up Raleigh figures, or Dr. Slump figures. We've got, I think this is a complete set of this particular line. These were produced in the, that one's still going. These are produced, I think, in the 90s. There was also a set produced in the 80s that had like little speech bubbles coming out the sides of their heads. I've got one at home. I'm tempted to grab that set. Let's see what else we got here. We got some bootlegs, bootleg Super Battle Collection Trunks, bootleg Super Battle Collection Gohan. These are actually figures that I traded to him a month or so ago. So they're still sitting here. I don't know. Some people like bootlegs, some don't. If you really like bootlegs, you really like bootlegs. If you don't like them, you hate them. But I like them. All right, we're gonna move through here. Some narrow spaces here. We've got this lot of stuff over here. Actually, here's a case of stuff that partially I helped produce. So you can see here my Bastard Boba and the Darth Vader Tokyo Toy Bastard collaboration I did with Has No Talent. Here's another loose one. And then these are some other Star Wars figures that Chad from Has No Talent created. There's another Darth Vader back there. I kind of want that one back. There's some Suck Lord stuff in the back. Here's some Knights of the Slice, some toy pizzas. Shout out to the toy pizza guys, friends of mine. And let's see. Oh, I see something. I saw this last time. I didn't pick it up, and I forgot about it. And it's this 90s box Arale minifigure, mini Sofubi finger puppet. And I'm not sure which figure's inside. I've got the cat Arale. I'm hoping it's Superman, so I'm gonna hold on to that and bring it over to the counter. But let's see. Before we go over there, here's a lot more HG Gashapon figures, Dragon Ball Gashapon figures. And earlier when I walked in, yeah, these are all the Dora caps, Dora capsules. A lot of good stuff.
Imagination.
In the Imagination series. And hi. I also have a bunch of these too, so he has doubles of a lot of these, so I already own a lot of this stuff. But one thing I noticed that he did not have last weekend when I came here were these guys, and I forgot the series name. These were recently posted by Masano-san and a couple other people, these painted versions of these, because there are also unpainted versions that are pretty easy to find and cheap. This is actually the first time I've seen the painted ones. I'll ask Ishii-san about these right now. How about that? Because these four I'm very interested in, especially this Goku on Shenron here. Ishii-san, what can you tell me about this series? Because I know that there's a no paint one, and then there's the painted one. Special one, right?
Yeah.
So last week these were not here.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious, because recently Masano-san posted some of these. So yeah, I'm curious about maybe grabbing these. So I will put this one over here for now, and come back and get the other ones later. But yeah, we'll ask about prices later. Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab those guys, and oh, and a Raleigh. Don't want to forget her again. All right, let's go through here. You can see there's a lot of Star Wars stuff. I am a Star Wars collector, but I'm kind of slowing down on the Star Wars. He's got a bunch of the late 90s stuff over here, but he's also known for having quite the collection of vintage Star Wars. I'm gonna go back over here. So here's some more 90s Star Wars, and he's got a huge collection of stormtroopers. There was a war here, some died. And another case of vintage Dragon Ball. And I'm tempted to pick up some of these, especially this box right here. But we'll come back to that maybe. But yeah, back to the vintage Star Wars. He's a big vintage Star Wars collector. Ishii-san's a big vintage Star Wars collector. These are all loose examples for sale. A couple years ago, or maybe it was almost 3 years ago, I did an interview with him, and he showcased some of his rare boxed figures, rare Kenner box figures, and I'll link that at the end if you haven't seen it. But he still has a pretty insane collection of some very rare vintage Star Wars pieces. So real quick, while we're still talking about that subject, here's some more Star Wars cases. This is all, again, most of this stuff is 90s stuff. If you look up here, you got Death Star playset. Got some customers coming in. Got some vintage 12-inch Kenner figures and a whole lot of Boba Fett. Ooh. If you know what this is, let us know in the comments, because both me and Toy Polloy. Sorry, I'm gonna start calling you Dave Polloy now. Sorry, Dave. Dave from Toy Polloy. That was a gift / trade from Toy Polloy. So yeah, if you don't follow Toy Polloy, follow Toy Polloy. Let's see. Let's go out here. There's a case outside too. Got some big boys. I'm a big boy. Some more Dragon Ball Gashapon. Got some vintage Dragon Ball plush. You can see these are the stairs that we came down earlier. I didn't film coming down the stairs because we were already here. Let's walk around here. Let's see what else. Yeah, let's come back to this vintage Dragon Ball case. So, there are a bunch of the Super Collection, some of the original Japanese model kits, which I'm curious to own. Because I have one, but I don't have any box. So that Goten and Trunks is calling my name, maybe. A bunch of the Uni-5 Ultimate Evolution figures. And he's got a loose Vegeta over there, so I'm going to maybe snag that. And Dragon Ball Kids complete set. And this is a showcase owned by another dealer. So this is Toy Cat Showcase. So some of these showcases are owned by different people. If you ask me, the Dragon Ball Kids set's a little high, but that's not set by the owner of Toy Cat, so can't really do anything about it. And you've got some more of the model kits down here. Some awesome Keshi box sets. This is the Full Metal Jacket box set. I really want this one too, but we'll see. And a bunch of stuff down here as well. I own a lot of this stuff, and the stuff that I don't own I don't really want or need. So let's keep moving. Let's go to the little Godzilla case over here. So we've got a lot of Ultraman. Ishii-san is actually friends with one of the suit actors. But I'm not a big Ultraman person, as you know. Oh, King Shisa. King Shisa is something I do like, so a little soft vinyl King Shisa, that's a maybe. I'll hold on to him. And I've got a lot of HG Godzilla. This is one of my favorite Godzilla Gashapon figures ever, this little Shin Godzilla. There's also this little Destroya. You know, I'm not a Destroya fan, but I like this little figure, so I'll hold on to that too. Some good stuff in there. And let's go down here. We've got some various little Japanese robots and anime characters. But what Ichi is known for the most in Toy Cats is his assortment of 70s Takara, Microman, and Henshin Cyborg figures. So let's take a look at his Henshin Cyborg assortment here. He's got some amazing customs that, if you know anything about this stuff, this is pretty crazy. And some vintage with costumes, without costumes. A bunch of stuff piled up in there that there's probably some treasures in there. Let's go down. There's just so much stuff in here. Let's go to the vintage Microman case. Just got some various standard 3 3/4 scale figures here. And then we've got some of his friend. His friend does these kits that are usually at Wonderfest. These are all based on the vintage Microman series, but you have to buy them in boxes, put them together yourself. I've never purchased any of these. I'm not much for putting together things, but they're really cool to look at. Then over here we've got some reissues, which is more in my price range. was actually looking at this when I came in. This is a reissue of the first wave of Microman figures, but I can't remember. Ishi-san, was our friend Jesus, did he already buy this one?
Yeah.
Already bought.
Already.
So I told someone about Toy Cats and recommended them for Microman, and he bought up all the toys I wanted. Damn you, Jesus! I'm just kidding. I'm glad you got all this good stuff. Anyway, more good stuff down here. Lots of box Takara goodness. And then we've got some more random Keshi. This is another little bin I've picked through many times. And I always find something kind of cool in here because he adds little trinkets every once in a while. But the Keshi, man, it's hard to get on camera, especially with my camera, and it's just so much to look through. So it's just, I don't know if it's worth picking through every single piece in here. I'll probably come back to it. Let's see, some more box Takara goodness. And let's see over here. This is the very first toy I ever bought here. He's got several of them. This is the Microman Cyborg Superman. That was the very first toy I ever purchased at Toy Cats, and it's no longer in my collection. So maybe I need another one. Do I need another one? I don't collect Superman, so probably not. But let's see. Is there anything else I want to look in here? All right, well, I'm going to take another look. I'll come back in just a moment if I find anything else in the cases I want to show, and then I'll wrap it up with what I find and see what it's gonna cost me. All right, see you in a second. All right, so the hunt is over. I found a lot of things that were not on camera, so I'm going to show you what I got. But first, I'd like to introduce you to Ishi-san's wife, Keiko, who also helps run the shop, and she's in charge of all the Amazon stuff, and she knows everything about all the Gashapon. So I always ask her when I can't find something, and she just got here, and let's just take a look at what I got. And but first, I did bring in some things to trade. So this is a book that I brought in to trade. Steve Sansweet's 1,000 Star Wars collectibles, and I think Ishi-san really likes it.
I love it.
So, and I brought in some other little small knickknacks, but let's see what we got here. So this is all the stuff that I picked up. Let's go through it real quick. All right, so first off, one of the trades that I did for the book was this vintage 1983 Return of the Jedi Darth Vader Keshi eraser toy from the US, I believe. The box is not that great condition, but I'm curious if I'll open it or not. I'm not sure yet because he's pretty cool, but you can't quite see him through the yellow damaged plastic, so I think I might open it and display him loose because he'll be minty fresh. Also, while we're talking about Keshi, I also did pick up a capsule of vintage Dragon Ball Keshi, and inside you've got Goku with his winter clothes, and Uranai Baba, the old lady, Kami-sen's sister. And I think I had this at one point. I think I sold it, so I don't think I have it anymore, so I figured I picked. She's upside down. You can't see. I'm not going to open it because I only have one hand free. Oh, I also completely forgot. I have another beer to drink, so cheers. Should have done that first. Oh well. All right. I think I'm on my third beer. Up next, I did pick up the King Caesar, as they call him in the US, and this is from 2004 from Godzilla Final Wars. Not my favorite incarnation of him, but he's only the second incarnation they ever made, so it's cool to have a little mini soft vinyl figure of him. He was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid, so and I don't think I have any of him in my collection, so figured I'd pick him up. We're talking about vinyl. Some of you may know that I really don't like Funko Pops, but Ishii pulled out like this little group of them, and inside was this Stripe Funko Pop. Yeah, and I'm a sucker for Gremlins, especially Stripe, and Gremlins don't look as bad translated into Funko Pop territory, so it was cheap. I grabbed it. Gotta get it. Sorry. All right. Next, this little destroyer, I am going to buy, but he's actually selling this as a set with a Biolante figure from the same series. And you know that I love Biolante, but we can't find the Biolante, so I'm gonna come back next time and then pick that up together with this. So leave that here for now. Also, minifigure wise, it's probably hard to see through this plastic, but I got these little, this is a Piccolo and Kami, sorry, not Kami translucent minifigures. This is a pair. I picked up a cell, but yeah, they're cool. Like, they're translucent green, and they're like chibi. They look like the illustrations from the Toriyama's, like when he would do like SD style illustrations. And I also picked up a set of the most recent Dragon Ball Versus series, and this has got a couple Dragon Ball Heroes characters, but it's also got Goku with Gohan when they're doing the final attack against Cell, and I wanted those two. The other two I'll probably put it for Cell unless my son claims them. And I did pick up the little painted figures here, the little Goku on Shinron, which is amazing, and this kid Goku with his power pole and a little monkey hanging on. And then this box, 90s Arale, we opened it up and inside was Gacha. So grab that too. I like Gacha. And finally, since it's Microman territory, I picked up this reissue of the first wave of Barefoot Microman figures, and these are getting pricey, not even loose, but like 5 years ago these were dirt cheap, and they just keep exploding in price. So I sold most of mine from this just standard reissue series. So even though he said this was sold, he actually still had one, so grabbed it too. Very happy to add that to my Microman collection. And I also picked up some Batman Hot Wheels for my son. I think he grabs a Batman Hot Wheel every time he's here. So yeah, that was everything, and I'm very satisfied. Go home and put all these on my display, and yeah, once again, you know, every time I come here, every Saturday, I always find a little pile of something. So yeah, if you're in Tokyo, please check out Toy Cats, because you'll find something. This place is just chock full of so much stuff that even someone that comes here once a week finds new stuff every time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Check out these other videos over here, and yeah, once again, come to Toy Cats. These guys are friendly.
Bye.
See ya.